And we're live. Hi guys.
Hey, what's up? Shannon and Rebecca here at my house.
With Petite Party Studio, and you're joining us today because we are working with Allure Flooring again. You might remember, right? You might remember that we did a complete remodel of our studio over the last summer and into the fall, and we've been working on it basically for like a year now, on and off. And one of the first major things that we did was replace our flooring. And we received that flooring through Home Depot, and it was Allure Flooring. It's one of our favorite products to install and use. So easy. And they approached us recently to do another project because they have a new product that's even more awesome than the one we've used. And we're really excited to share with you our experience and how it's going. So Shannon, I have a new house, so I wasn't going to rip up my flooring, but Shannon has absolutely hated her flooring for years, and it was time. So when this opportunity came, we jumped on it. So there's Shannon.
Here we go.
This is her house. So here, give me a sample of it. It is I don't know if you guys are familiar with vinyl plank flooring, but it's a wood look vinyl, and it's waterproof. We installed a commercial grade, and this is pretty equivalent. It feels like a similar product, but from what we understand, this is 100% waterproof, and it's even easier to install than what we were using. And the stuff that we used in store, the Allure Ultra, was, I mean, we had no issues. Definitely a few learning curves in the beginning, but I think once you get the hang of it and get a flow, it's like smooth sailing. You don't have to have any sort of like skill level to jump in and tackle this type of project. So, all right, so the plank, this is a wide plank, and as far as like tools, so far we've needed a straight edge, a good box cutter, measuring tape, and a mallet, a rubber mallet. And we used a non-marking rubber mallet, which was important because you don't want to mark up your floors. Very important. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera around real quick. It's kind of a construction zone right now, but take a look and we'll show you. Okay, so before Shannon had a laminate plank down, and it was dark, and it was really difficult to keep clean. She has some sweet knee pads on. That's another thing, is save your knees.
Yes.
But yeah, so the dark plank was no bueno. So this lighter plank that's vinyl is going to be absolutely like easy to maintain and super easy to install. Do you want to talk about why you picked this color?
Well, I think I definitely wanted to go lighter. I think that was just number one, because I started out with these dark floors, which 9 years ago, I loved them for about the first year or so, and then we started having kids, and I mean, they're gorgeous, but with kids, 3 kids, no bueno. Just,
yeah.
They show everything. So definitely knew I wanted to go lighter, and since installing the vinyl in our shop, it's just held up so well. Hides everything, it's easy to clean.
Yep. So we decided to, it's a floating floor, and really there were no crazy imperfections in her subfloor, so we didn't really have to do any patches or leveling, which was great. And because the vinyl does have some flexibility, if there are small imperfections, it really does lay nicely right over it. It's ready to install. And then we removed the baseboards because we're gonna be installing new baseboards. Trying to save it, and we didn't want to put up a quarter round, which is, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but a quarter round is a way to finish between your baseboard and your floor to cover any gaps if you don't want to do these baseboards. But we like the seamless look of new baseboards, the appearance of the floor going right under the baseboard as if it's always been here. So we're going to show you a couple steps on how easy these planks are to pop in. So hang on. Oh, hi, Jenny. What's up? Okay, hold on one second. All right. So
I started it this morning, and I decided I wanted to lay it from the door.
Front to back.
Front to back, front of the house to back of the house. I just prefer that look, overlaying it horizontally, or however you want to call it.
We are not professional flooring installers, okay? Okay.
We pretend to be.
We pretend we play one on TV.
Exactly. So, read the instructions. Always read the instructions. I did read them this morning. It does say to start in the corner of the room, and that you want to lay from left to right.
To right. And that's because it's a tongue and groove system, and it has a locking mechanism on each plank. And so in order for it to flow and lock into place, if we can get a close-up. Can you see that? There's like a little channel, and that's, if this gets damaged, you kind of ruin the plank. So you want to make sure that you do handle them with care when you're installing them with your rubber mallet. But these ones are really, really sturdy.
They are really nice. I was going to mention that the ISOCORE, this new line that they're doing, I mean, I feel like it's definitely improved even a little bit on the tugger group.
From what we installed, and what we installed was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is the new ISOCORE product by Allure, available through Home Depot.
Yep. So when you started at the corner, I did a full plank. I went all the way down, and it just says to not do a minimum, don't do any less than 8 inches at the end of your...
Okay, better connection, sorry. Yeah, you want to make sure that you start with a full piece, or you don't want to end up down here with something less than 8 inches. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically because it's a floating floor, there's nothing holding it down, so you don't want any loose pieces. So Shannon started with a full piece, right? Yep. Did you start with a full piece?
Yep, I sure did.
And it looks like she probably ended with a good 3-foot plank. So we didn't have to run into, at our shop, we had really uneven walls, and our building is like 70 years old, like 100 years old. And so we had some more issues, and we ended up with, you know, some pieces. So we had to make adjustments along the way, but that was really no big deal. So let's take a closer look.
Show you how it's done?
Yeah, let's show you how it's done.
So I started this row.
I'm making Shannon do the work since it's her house.
Right? That's okay. Hey, I'll take it. I'm ready. So I started with this one first.
Yep.
Did the right side. Make sure your tugger curve matches up.
I'm gonna get down, get close.
So this way you want to start with the length of the board and then slide it in till it gets into the corner. Right? And then you'll see right there, you just take your rubber mallet.
Give a little pop.
And there it is. That's it.
That's it.
And
so that plank is in.
And if there's a little bit of a gap here in the seam, you can take a board and just tap it. You can do it right here. There we go in.
No, sometimes if you pull it up at like 30 degrees, there we go.
There we go.
Now it's tight and seamless. See how pretty that is? And once they pop together like that, I mean, it's like, it's down and they're locked together. Now, the one thing that when we were laying the floor in our shop, a good thing to do is keep like a little, either shop vac or a hand broom close by, just so you can brush out any debris that might get under. Because, you know, sometimes when you pull up flooring, you get a lot of like debris. And so you want to make sure that there's no, you know, little pebbles or grit underneath each board, just so that you get a smooth installation or nothing gets stuck in the little cracks.
See, this is where my OCD kicks in.
That's okay. We get the gist of it. So when you come in on an angle, you just want to make sure that you're not coming in at a 90-degree angle. I think they say
10 to 20.
10 to 20 degrees. And you just kind of wiggle it in, snap it into place. And then we're going to lock it with a little board. Oh, hold up. There we go. So you can see it has a nice tight seam. And then at the wall, it's important to leave a 1/4 inch expansion gap, because depending on the subfloor and depending on where you live, we live in Arizona, it's really dry here. We don't deal a lot with moisture, so we don't have a ton of issues with expanding and contracting, but you still want to leave that gap. Any gap that you do have will be covered up by your baseboards. So let's take a step back and look again at how it's coming along. Once you get the first 3 rows installed, it really starts to fly by. It's a pretty quick process, and I imagine that if we keep at it for the next couple hours, we'll probably have this entire room done. How's it going, Shannon?
It's going.
It's going?
So then this is where I think it's a good idea to show where you trim it.
Yeah, how you trim
And
it?
an easy way to trim it.
So let's take a look at how you would trim a board. Now this stuff is so easy to trim. It's like, I don't even know. We're gonna show you. So we measure the board, we put the board to the wall, and then we see where it meets up with the other board. Flip it over.
So, actually what I've been doing today,
Oh,
so this is the way you're gonna lay it.
right.
Because here's the tongue and groove.
Yep.
So what I'm doing is I'm basically turning it over. You just wanna rotate it. Line it up,
Mark the end.
and then mark it.
So this is where we're gonna cut, and this end will be against the wall. Okay? So once you have your mark, we will show you the next step. She's getting prepared. You can, okay, she's bad. Okay. So it's literally a floor that you can score and snap. So she's measuring her end cut. You don't need a saw for this. We just make sure that we have really, like, a lot of extra blades on hand so that you can swap them out when it starts getting dull. And we've been, for the last project we used a level. I just kind of kneel on it and hold it into place if you need like an extra hand, but for the most part, you just give it a good score, press down, run your blade along your straight edge, a couple times, maybe 3 times. Just kidding.
A few times.
A few times.
I take it across too, just to be extra safe, right there.
And you flip it over.
See where you
Ready?
want it?
1, 2, 3, snappiola. Boom. Done and done.
And then you want to score it on the back. And there it is.
There you go. And that's it. Pretty easy. Like I said, any level of DIY can tackle a project like this. So if you're hesitating, don't hesitate. Just do it. The instructions are very straightforward. And like I said, once you get a few of the first rows in, that's the hardest part, is getting the floor. Since it's a floating floor, there's nothing really securing it at this point until you get some weight behind it. And once you get some weight behind it, then you can really start cruising along on your project. So we are going to...
You don't want drywall in the way?
What? Oh, that's piece of drywall? So we are going to... Okay, so we're going to check out from here, but thanks for tuning in. We will be updating you guys as we move further in the process and complete the redesign of this room. And follow us on Instagram for more updates. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
Bye.